that one.
Yeah. If you weren't in the company car today, you'd be chugging a beer. But you'll have to chug a beer from the hockey game next week.
Yeah, I can do that.
Which is cool.
Yeah. We'd be way more fun next week.
It will be more fun because, we've got nowhere to drive. We're going to Uber or walk to wherever we got to go. Things will be good, man.
Just not going to go to the last place. That place was terrible.
Oh, man. Last year, that restaurant. I mean, it was open. It was right across the street. It was convenient.
It was there, and it looked like it had potential.
Service there sucked. The food sucked. I mean, it was awful. Yeah. We're going to avoid that like the plague.
Yeah. I'm in.
But it was still a good time. Overall.
Oh, yeah. It was
fantastic time. I enjoyed it. Can't wait to do it again. And I almost forgot, man. It's like next week. It's like, damn.
Yeah, it's next week.
I can't wait. Brother. Yeah. And we'll be doing the pod from the hotel room, drinking beers as always, like we do.
Yes.
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. And I'll do the chug next week. The company vehicle.
It's perfectly fine. You might have to chug too, depending on what kind of bet we come up with today.
I don't know what we got this week. It's going to be playoff games.
Yeah, playoff games. So we'll see which one we differ on, and we'll have to bet a chug on that. Otherwise, it could just be both of us chugging a beer, which is most likely.
Probably.
There's no way I win 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be 3 actually.
Oh yeah, it would it? Because I won the other chug too. Nice. Yeah. Yes, man. So I've already won 2 in a row.
Yeah, I've won 2.
I overlooked that one.
Well, let's see if I can't get one right. Driving me crazy. I don't like losing.
This shit happens though. So, back to the national title game.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of hand. Penix looked all out of whack. We gave him all this praise going into the game, and I don't know if it was the way Michigan just disguised the defense and just really did everything they could to kind of fool Penix, or if it was just that moment might have been a little too big for him.
I think it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like, I also think he just looked off. Like, throws he's been making all year, he was missing. Like, missing wide open guys. He had Rome down the sideline. That would have been an easy touchdown and just straight up overthrew him.
Yeah. And that's a throw he normally makes.
Yeah.
And I mean, the last 3 or 4 weeks, those are throws he's been making. It's crazy.
Yeah. It was just typical regular throws for him, and they were just off. Throwing stuff behind guys.
Yeah.
Just timing was off. It was just, I don't know. But I'm not going to take anything away from Michigan. Michigan played fantastic. Washington defense decided, hey, you can run the ball all day long on us if you want. That's like just terrible run defense.
Well, congrats to Michigan. They took care of business. The only thing I'll leave out there is Georgia. Had Georgia been in this playoff, does Georgia give Michigan a different game?
Maybe.
So here's my thing. I said it from the get-go when this playoff came out. I said it should have been Michigan and Alabama for the title. Hands down, that game was better than the one we got on Monday night.
Yeah, it was. And what's sad is either one of the semifinal games was better than the game we ended up with on Monday night.
Yes.
Either one of them.
They both were, I agree.
Great semifinal games.
But I think Bama, the way Washington and Texas both played, I think Bama would have handled them. Even with the mental mistakes, everything that happened at the end of that game against Michigan, I think Bama really had a good shot. If you play that Michigan-Bama game, 10 times, I feel like Bama probably wins 6 or 7 times.
Maybe.
I think Michigan was fortunate with the mistakes that Alabama made to allow for them to remain in that game. And I'm not taking anything away from Michigan. I don't want to. I am taking it away. I mean, honestly, I'm talking about how Bama was better, even. But I feel like that Bama was a better football team. I just do. And the mental mistakes and such led to the result that we got. But
Yeah.
Michigan proved it. They took care of business when they needed to take care of business, and they won in the clutch.
Yeah. Do you think Harbaugh comes back?
Yeah.
It sounded like it with him talking about being excited for spring practice and all that jazz.
Yeah, but I mean, we know how coaches are and what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a coaching carousel that we'll get into here in a little bit.
Yeah, here in a few minutes, yeah.
But you know how they talk. Everybody will say this or say that, and they're going to say, oh, I'm here. I mean, look, Nick Saban, for God's sake. I will not be the coach of Alabama. What happened? He's the coach of Alabama. 24 hours later.
Yeah. I get that.
It's stuff like that. They're going to say what they need to say in the moment, but ultimately, anything's going to happen.
I don't know. Parts of me think that Harbaugh likes it there. But at the
It's his alma mater.
I mean,
But I think he does. He has this desire to be successful at the NFL level. He wants to be successful on the professional level. What he did was show he could be successful in the collegiate reigns. But, I mean, he's gotten so close to taste it there at the NFL level, too. It's like, is that a challenge he wants to tackle at some point? I don't think he makes the move right now. He's got a top class coming in.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a lot of these guys returning next year.
Yeah.
Why would you walk away from a situation that sets you up to be back-to-back national champion? Because Bama's not going to be the same Bama that we thought they were going to be next year now, because that portal's going to open up wide.
They've already seen it. They've already had a
Kentucky swooped one of their safeties.
They had the top wide receiver in the class. I think, back out, decommit.
Yeah, so you're going to see those types of things. And there's nothing wrong with seeing a decommitment. Maybe some of these guys are like, hold on, let me open it back up. Let's see where we're at, and let's see who they hire. But the thing is, they've said Bama's going to have somebody hired by the end of the week. So they're ready. They've known this was coming for just a little bit. But what's cool is, like, they kept that under such wraps. And it surprised everybody in the media.
Well, there's guys that, that's already been mentioned and they're talked about. And, I saw this.
Well, Lanning was one of them.
Lanning was one. Lanning said he's not going anywhere.
Nope. There is reports now saying he's going to stay at Oregon. I don't understand it.
I do.
Oregon's moving to the Big Ten. They're moving to the Big Ten.
Oregon has something also that no other school has.
Nike.
And, the other schools have Nike, but
No,
Oregon has Nike.
Yeah. No, and I get it. The Nike money, the publicity, everything about Oregon is that. And now that they're going to the Big Ten, I see it being difficult to leave. Sure. I didn't think about that before saying it. I just don't know. Just having Bama, having the reputation that you do as a coach, being as successful as you were today, you were a game away from playing in the playoff.
Yeah. Well, they talked about Lanning. DeBoer from Washington is on the list.
Yes.
Which, I don't know. I think Washington had a really good year.
Is it not sustainable?
I'm not quite sold on that yet.
What I thought would be funny is Lane Kiffin. But apparently he did something while he was in Tuscaloosa and nobody wants him. Ooh, do you know when they talked about this happening, there was a bunch of students and fans and everything that went outside and said, anybody but Dabo?
No, that doesn't surprise me. But he's on the list.
He's not even going to get an interview, dude.
Well, his problem is he won't use the portal.
And the thing is, I don't care how holier than thou you are. At Alabama, care about one thing.
Winning. It's winning.
You're right.
In the SEC period, they're winning. They care about winning.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care about how good of a guy you are or any of that mess. They want you to win, and they don't care how you win. Just win.
No.
They hit him with the Al Davis.
Yeah. That's it. Talked about possible Mike Norvell
Yep.
being one of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
That, after what happened this year, that could be a really interesting pick.
Mm-hmm. Who was the other one they had on the list? It was a big name.
I know Lane was originally talked for a minute. I don't think he'll be the guy either.
I would want that guy.
Who, Lane? I like Lane.
I think he's perfect for that job because he's not going to come in and try to replace Saban.
He's just going to...
He's not going to try to be Saban.
No. Well, nobody can be Saban.
Right, I know, but he's not going to come in and try to be that dude. He's not going to try to be arguably the GOAT in college football.
I like the idea of Lane being there, but I like the idea of Lane being Florida State's coach before they hired Mike Norvell.
No, you're right. I like the idea of him staying at Ole Miss because it's just interesting.
Yeah. Because not that Alabama's going to they're going to turn into this 6-6 program. They're still going to be very good, but it makes me wonder if they're going to take just that half a step back for a year or two while that new coach comes in and implements.
It depends on who they hire, in my opinion. It's really going to come down to that. It depends on who they hire.
Yeah.
If it's a guy that's going to be able to keep the majority of this recruiting class and keep the majority of the kids that are there now, then you've got a solid roster that's going to compete immediately in the SEC next year. But you're going to need a guy that's going to be able to convince these kids to stay and come still.
I'm going to throw a name out there, and you're going to think I'm crazy when I say this name, but there's a guy out there that has won a national title, has familiarity with the SEC, has done it in the SEC at multiple locations already, currently unemployed.
You're going to say Urban Meyer?
Not going to say Urban. Urban is an interesting name, though.
Okay.
Jimbo Fisher's still out there. He's not a terrible coach. I just think Texas A&M has a overinflated view of what they should be.
You're right. But you know what that whole stint at Texas A&M has done to his reputation? It's definitely hurt it. Because it's like if you're going to succeed at a high level and be paid this amount of money to be successful, you got to find ways to be successful where you are. And he was not successful in the least bit. There was other coaches that were more successful there than he was.
Well, he had the same kind of record as Kevin Sumlin.
Yeah, but
and I didn't feel that Sumlin did bad either.
He didn't do bad, but the amount of money they're paying a guy like that, they're looking for 10, 11, 12 wins and an SEC title somewhere. You don't pay that kind of money and not get that kind of return on investment.
Well, here's the problem with that is they were building up, and then they had that monster class last year.
Yeah.
And instead of let's see what this class does.
But that's 3 more years.
It's 2 years. 2 years now in college, bro. It's 2 years. That was this year and next year.
Well, yeah. No, because some of those kids are still in high school.
Well,
yeah, you're going to wait till, maybe a sophomore year, but definitely their junior year for anything to be, what it needs to be.
That's the difference. That's why I think college coaches, especially football coaches, they don't get the time they really should get.
I agree.
At programs.
Yeah, we're not. That's a whole different topic, but yeah, they never do. They want
instant results.
Yeah, the instant gratification factor in the NFL and college is stupid. And the thing is, it's like, and I'll touch on it real fast. Carolina Panthers, whoever you hire, are you gonna fire them in a year? No, that's not fair.
They just did it.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's bullshit, too. You saw what you got. And that's David Tepper's fault.
Yeah.
But anyways, neither here nor there. We'll get to the NFL. But I'm saying that's the same type of shit that you're going to see in college too, because these guys aren't going to get time to recruit the kids they need to. You need 5 years minimum in college to put your product out there. Because number one, let's say you take over a program that's reeling. They're struggling. They don't have any type of culture, or if they do, it might be negative. You got to change the culture.
Yep.
That's a year or two. Then you got to start building your roster. It's like Deion Sanders in Colorado. Colorado completely depleted. What did they do? Pulled off a couple upsets this year. Didn't do well. Won 4 games. Nothing. I mean, better than I anticipated.
But if you look at they were in every game except for like one.
Oh no, they competed. That's what I'm saying.
Their defense would have been 120 instead of 130.
Deion is also the extreme of this. He's going to turn the program around a little bit quicker. It looks like. Let's see what he does next year. Now, does he get to 500 next year? We'll see. But
he's playing in the Big 12. That's a little different.
So he probably will.
A little different than what the Pac-12 does here. The Pac-12 had a
Pac-12
very
is stacked.
Up year this year.
And the Big 12 is not the Big 12 anymore.
No.
Texas and Oklahoma are gone.
No. It's a free-for-all there now.
Yeah. I mean, basically, it's half the Pac-12.
Yeah.
So, Saban's gone. He's retired. And who was the other guy that I was thinking of that was going to – that they were going to interview for that job?
Let's see. I know it was Norvell, Lanning, DeBoer. I know Dabo was on the list, but I don't think he's leaving Clemson.
No. And I just don't see that being.
Even though Alabama is his alma mater and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just don't think his coaching style.
His style does not fit Alabama. And the thing is it can. He would just have to adapt to today's game.
He's got to adapt. There's a lot of these.
I mean, Clemson. He's going to be out of a job at Clemson based upon his beliefs in this whole system. Guess what, man? It's not changing. It's not going to change.
It's only going to get worse.
That transfer portal is a zoo now, dude. You gotta be all in on that, or you're going to get left behind.
Yeah. You
got to be all in on NIL. You got to be willing to find those dollars and pay the guys that you want in the place.
It's just crazy.
You can't keep preaching loyalty and all this other jazz to them and imagine that you're gonna be successful being the lone wolf out here and not working with the portal.
Well, it's just crazy to me that like you get these athletes that are getting these, several $100,000 scholarships. Mm-hmm. And then they're getting these NIL deals for millions of dollars, which I'm not saying they shouldn't get paid. I mean,
some of them are worth it though.
Yeah, but you saw that ridiculous rumors swirling around like Marvin Harrison Jr., where they were talking about
paying him more than the NFL was.
Yeah, to get him to stay for 1 year. It was essentially going to equal what his rookie contract would have been.
But see, that's
crazy.
For 1 year, that's crazy.
Crazy. And like I don't know where that line gets drawn. Because now it's not really with the portal, it's not really even transfer. It's free agency. Let's call it what it really is. It's free agency. That's why you saw how many quarterbacks in the
But
portal.
It's free agency without contracts.
Oh, they're contracts. There's contracts.
No, there's not. I mean, what's holding a guy to a particular school and saying,
I get that.
You're giving me this amount of money. Cool, I'm going to hit the transfer portal because Michigan decided to pay me another $1 million more than you are right now.
Yeah, but when does that become tampering?
I mean, it is tampering unless they're actually in the portal. But let's be real. We know this shit's happening.
Oh, it's...
Because there's no way. Like, all these guys have played together at some point in time in their careers, right? Yeah. In high school and travel ball, whatever else you want to say. All these guys are friends with each other. They've played together in all-star games, high school All-American games, blah, 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 all this stuff. So you're talking about, like, Marvin Harrison Jr. has played with a bunch of people that are probably at Alabama or at Clemson or Florida State or wherever, these big programs.
Yeah.
So when the opportunity arises, they're like, hey, man, I talked to Coach, and Coach got me. Coach says,
Yeah.
you want this, man, we'll make it happen. And
I
it's
get
like, that tampering's happening.
Oh,
There's
it's
absolutely
there.
no way it's not happening. And it's going to happen through sub-channels. It's not going to happen through a direct channel. You're not getting the AD or the coach saying, yo, Marvin Harrison, like, if you want to stay in school, you can transfer out of Ohio State and you can make $10 million down here in Florida.
I get
It's
that.
like, that's not going to happen. I mean, it's not going to be that way. It's going to be transmitted through a player or a friend or somebody else, somebody that's not technically tied to the program, maybe.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
I mean, it's just the NIL money just drives me crazy just because it's just ridiculous.
Well, it's a free
look
for all.
Look at
It is.
Arch Manning this year.
Yeah.
$3 million to be essentially the third string quarterback.
Bankrolling it too.
$3 million
I'm good with it, man.
to be number 3.
Why not?
No, I mean, I get it. I mean, I ain't saying I wouldn't take the money, but it's just, I don't know.
I mean, there's been career backups in the league that are just doing fine.
No, I'm not saying don't be a backup. I'm just saying it's ridiculous for a third string guy in college to make $3 million in NIL money.
Here's my thing, and I don't know if it's smart or not. If I am Arch Manning and I have the talent to play pretty much anywhere I want, and I'll probably get the NIL money wherever I go.
Oh, he's getting it.
Right. So let's say Carolina comes knocking. They need a quarterback next year, right?
They do. They will.
Or, I mean, yeah, if he was planning on sitting this year anyway, I guess he's anticipated at Texas he'd sit a year and then start playing.
Yeah, because
Now it's
he
not
was
happening.
expecting yours to go.
Right. So let's say he's coming out this year because I want to make the scenario correct. All right, this year he's coming out of high school this year. He graduates this year, and Carolina comes calling and says you're the starter no matter what, and we're going to give you whatever money you want. This is it. You don't even have to earn the job. You're just going to come in and you're going to start day one. Or a team like Texas calls and it's like, you got Ewers coming back. Ewers is going to be starting next year. Why not go to Carolina and then transfer later?
Yeah.
Now, I see the downside to this. Let's say he goes to a team that doesn't have the same type of talent on the roster.
Right.
Is he as successful as he would be at a Texas with that type of talent on the roster? So his game tape might be flawed.
That's where.
So I can see where that could be a difficult decision to make. But I mean, as a competitor and a guy that, I play competitive sports, you play competitive sports, you want to be out there. You don't want to sit and watch. Like,
and
I don't even care if I'm making a shit ton of money. Like, as a grown-ass adult now, it's like, yeah, I would ride back up in the NFL for all that money. But I'm thinking to myself, though, as a competitor and being competitive, I wanted to be on the field and contribute in any which way I could.
Especially with that name.
Well, yeah.
Attached.
I mean, there's too much legacy there.
It's way too much.
Yeah,
way
too much.
Yeah,
There's
too much legacy for you to sit on the bench, sir.
There's a lot of expectation behind that name.
Yeah. Maybe that's why it's there. Maybe that's why, man, I'm just going to sit here and chill. I'm going to learn.
I'm not as good as
Was
my uncles
Sarkisian
were.
the name you were missing?
Sarkisian. That's it. Thank you, sir. That was the one.
I was just curious, guys. Like, he's part of that, I want to say coaching tree, even though he's more probably the Pete Carroll tree.
Yeah, but I hear Sarkisian is the one that they want.
Why leave Texas?
Well, it's a tough. I think
Why
with
leave
the
Texas?
move you're getting right now, and the success he's having at Texas.
Yeah, why
That's
leave
tough.
Texas?
Yeah, I get it.
To me, going from Texas to Alabama would be a lateral move.
It is it's hard to say that it's a lateral move, but it is because Texas is, I mean, it's as big as Alabama when it comes to football.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, in terms of recent success and history and everything like that, Bama's got you. Sorry.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, what? Saban's been in Alabama for 20 years and won 6 titles.
Yeah. I get that. I get that.
I mean, not 20 years, but you know what I mean.
Was it 17, something like
So,
that?
yeah, there's a lot of. There's a
Yeah,
ton of
17, I
years.
think 2007. So
Yeah.
17 years. That's a lot. I get that. But at the same time, I could see where they would want Sarkisian. He was there. They were successful when he was the OC there, too.
Uh huh.
I mean, what's really surprising, I'm surprised, like, Bill O'Brien's name isn't floating around there, too. But who? I mean, it could be, and we just don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like of all the names we've already given, like that, it's going to be one of those names.
It's not going to be somebody out of left field.
No. Unless no, because like I'm just thinking like people are bullshitting around like Bill Belichick's gonna go to Alabama. He's not. He's too old. Bama doesn't want to take a guy that's not going to be there for the longevity.
Yeah, Belichick is going
It's the same thing with Pete Carroll. Like people were like, Pete Carroll can come back to college and do this. No,
Nah.
Pete Carroll's 74 years old. Pete Carroll's not going back to college.
I don't think Pete Carroll's going to coach anymore.
I think he's done coaching. Yeah.
It's talking about he's going to join the
Well,
front office.
Yeah, he's going to be the front office in Seattle. But it doesn't mean if a team comes calling and says, we need you to coach, that he can't bounce. But I think, yeah, he's found it as time to tie it up or hang him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of those unexpected coaching changes. We didn't see that one coming.
No, because the way he talked before the end of the season was, I'll be here next year.
I didn't think Seattle was that far away, to be honest.
They were still competing for a playoff spot at the end of the year.
Honestly, they're probably a quarterback away from being.
Yeah, you got a little bit of
Somewhat.
magic out of Geno the year before. This year it just wasn't the same, and I get it.
I think they're a quarterback away. And there's going to be plenty flying around, so.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot that are out there and available for the poaching. Not to mention the draft that's coming up. There's two head and shoulders above the rest, and then.
Yeah, it depends on the two. We know Caleb's there. A lot of guys are preaching up Jaden Daniels now.
Jaden Daniels, Drake May.
Yeah.
But I think Drake May and Caleb Williams are the top above everybody else. In terms of rankings, me and you, we don't agree with the Caleb Williams thing. I'm more of a fan of Jaden Daniels myself.
Me too.
Yeah, but
Me too.
maybe that's an option for him later on in the draft, or if they want to trade up a little bit in the first round to see where they can get. Seattle's got the equity to do it.
I got a feeling those three guys are going to be gone in the probably first 7 picks.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, everything
Well,
I've seen.
Penix is still, talked about somewhere at the end of the first, somewhere in the second.
Yeah, that's not bad. Him and Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is going, and I like Bo Nix a lot. I thought Bo Nix was better than Penix for most of the year, but
Bo Nix played fantastic.
he did.
The Bo Nix I saw playing as a freshman in Auburn
Yeah,
compared to the Bo Nix that I saw played
Yeah.
this year in Oregon. Fantastic, man.
Yeah.
His development was great.
He changed. He changed completely, really.
That could have been a guy that Pete got in like the 3rd round. And you know he likes those 3rd round quarterbacks.
Now, Russell Wilson might come to mind there.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the other word out there, at least in college football, more specifically, the SEC, is Kirby Smart might be looking at that Atlanta head coaching job in the NFL.
Really?
Yeah, so Kirby Smart has been rumored to be eyeballing a move to the NFL. And I see, like, wanting that challenge.
Such a hard challenge, man.
Well,
I
you
mean-
don't see guys go from the collegiate ranks into the NFL coaching world and be successful.
Other than like Harbaugh and Pete Carroll.
That's it, right?
I mean, that's the only ones I can really think of. Everybody else,
But see, there's history there for them when it comes to the NFL. I think Saban, if you gave it a longer go, would have been more successful at the time.
Saban would have just signed Drew Brees instead of Dante Culver.
That was stupid. So dumb. Anyways, I mean, but Saban still he was part of that, like, part of the NFL coaching trees.
Yeah.
So there's that potential for Kirby Smart to make that move, but he doesn't have the NFL background.
I could see Arthur Blank opening a checkbook for Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
I could see him doing it. It wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, that's who he wants, apparently.
I mean, there's always that NFL owners like gets enamored with this college coach. I mean, David Tepper and Matt Rule.
Well, and he's right behind. I mean, he's right down the road. He's probably acquainted with him in some capacity.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't like the move. Kirby Smart has something rolling, and Nick Saban's gone.
Kirby Smart's at his alma mater.
I'm just saying, Kirby Smart is the king of the SEC right now.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I don't leave that, man. You have something rolling in Athens, dude, and you can't bounce from that.
What's driving me? Yeah. I like the job that Kirby Smart's done. I thought Kirby Smart did a fantastic job in, like, biding his time.
He did.
Like, because he could have took a head coaching job.
No, he moved
years
into,
before
no,
he actually took
He
one.
moved into a, I mean, there's not a more perfect spot because he wasn't left a trash can, and he's at a university that is full of diehard football fans.
Oh God, Georgia has the football back.
Yeah, I mean, you got a handful of them in the SEC. When you think about historically great fan bases in football and tons of money.
Yeah.
So what do you got? Florida, you got Georgia.
Yep.
Bama. You got Bama. You got LSU.
Honestly, Auburn's one of those teams.
Auburn and Tennessee. So yeah, a little more than a handful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're bringing in two more.
Yeah, you're bringing in two more. I mean the birthplace of football, basically.
Man, have you seen some of these schedules that have come out for like next
Oklahoma is fucked.
If Oklahoma finishes 500 next year, they're going to be lucky. They're going to be lucky.
Dude, I don't know what it was. Somebody in Oklahoma pissed off somebody in the scheduling committee because they were like, fuck you.
We're giving you everybody.
Yeah, you get to taste
Georgia, Alabama.
Yeah.
Take them all.
Yeah, you got Georgia, Alabama, Texas,
yeah,
LSU. Who was the other one?
Don't they have Ole Miss maybe?
Yeah, I think Ole Miss. Yeah. Man. If I'm Oklahoma, I don't schedule one power conference out of conference opponent at all. Not happening.
Yeah.
Now give me all cupcakes. Sign me up for Army.
Sign you up for Georgia
State.
Well, it's Georgia's not.
Yeah, Georgia's cupcake schedule this year. Yeah, let me get some Florida A&M action.
Yeah. NCAA Southwest Division II.
Oh yeah, grab Youngstown State. Kentucky usually gets them.
Yeah.
Akron. Just give me some
zips.
Yeah, give me all the trash that I can handle because I need those 4 wins more than I ever will. Yeah, and you know what? If Oklahoma makes that move in the schedule next year, I ain't gonna make fun of them. I'd be like, hell yeah.
That was my move in NCAA football.
Really, you did that?
Doing the simulation
next year, buddy.
Dude, I literally when I first get somewhere, like all my like non-conference games would be those like whack Division II teams.
Why? I love playing competition early.
Well, like
I would always play a shitty like what is it, the FCS Midwest?
Yeah, that's me. That's what I would do.
I would play one of those.
No, I would be all
because I wanted to just like open it up and try to score 100.
Well, the way I looked at it, it's like I always did 2. I did one that I was simulating through because then you have. It's only what you can get. You're only dealing what you're working with.
Right.
And then you're actually like, whatever they do is what they do. I always did that. And then I always had one I played. When I played, I was like, man, I want to play everybody. I don't care. I got to the point where I'm scheduling. Give me whoever is preseason ranked 1 through 4. That's who's my non-conference schedule would be. But in the simulation where I'm playing, it was cupcakes all the time. Because even if you go 500 in your conference, you just won 8 games.
Well, it's true. I mean, hey, that's the Kentucky way, buddy.
Hey, man, that's the Carolina way, bro.
That's the Kentucky way. I've been watching it. That's why you think everybody likes Mark Stoops, because he wins 4 cupcakes every year.
Wins 7, 8 games, and they're like,
thank God for Louisville.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, and I get it. But while we're talking about coaching stuff, let's move to the NFL.
All right. So the GOAT of the NFL, GOAT of professional coaching,
Retired.
has retired. No,
Not retired.
mutually parted ways.
You're correct.
So we're talking about this. Belichick is a free agent. Now, do you think, and this is my first question about it, because, Belichick being a free agent, he's probably going to go wherever he wants. Do you think someone pulls a trigger on their head coach because Belichick is available? Maybe a little bit earlier than what's necessary. And I'll throw it out there. I don't want this by any means, so before I say it. But let's say the Eagles we lose on Monday night to the Bucs, and we fire the whole coaching staff, Sirianni included.
That's floating around too.
No,
it's been
floated. It's been floated around, but they bring in Belichick.
I don't like it.
But that's an early trigger pull on a head coach that I think has a lot of potential. But do you think there's other teams that do something like that? Like that early trigger pull just for the opportunity? Because the coaching tree that's out there right now, the coaches, the availability, it's nice.
I think when it comes to Belichick, I think he's not going anywhere that's in rebuild mode.
Nope.
Like, I think a rebuild mode is out. I think he's going to go to a team where he thinks he can win and win now.
Right.
And honestly, out of everybody has a coaching vacancy at the moment, I don't think any of them are a win now team. I think
Chargers
could win now. Chargers could.
I think the Chargers are an opportunity for anybody because I think what they lacked was good coaching. And right now I feel that way about the Eagles. But
only problem you're having with the Chargers right now is they're locked in with your OC. But
I don't see Belichick giving a shit about that because he's always been a defensive-minded guy.
Yeah. He'd rather lead the offense with somebody else.
Yeah.
But I think
the offense fell off this year because of the OC. I let his ass go. If that meant I got Belichick in here. But here's my thing with Belichick, too. And maybe I'm playing devil's advocate with myself, is you saw the roster that GM Bill Belichick put together. Bill Belichick answers to no one in Boston.
Nah.
He's answered to no one. You saw the draft day video camera of him in his house with a computer and his dog.
Yeah, he didn't care.
The thing was, he wasn't answering anybody. Bob Kraft didn't tell him what to do. No one told him what to do. He sat there. He got a list of
scouting
reports, and then he made his decisions. He didn't answer to nobody. He didn't have input from anybody. Every other team in the NFL has this room full of people that all are putting giving their input about a particular player for this pick. Bill Belichick was one man and the only man making that decision. He's going to want that same thing, and he is the one who built the roster that's currently in New England, and it is trash.
I personally, if I'm an owner, I would, especially if I'm a team like the Chargers, Raiders, Commanders, team like that, which I know he doesn't want to be part. There's no way he wants to be part of a rebuild. But I pretty much, as the owner, I'm saying, what I want for you is I want Bill Belichick, the coach.
Yeah.
We'll take care of the moves We'll make the roster good for you. I want you, the coach.
I don't think he takes it.
That's the only way I take him. Because I don't want Bill Belichick, the GM. It's just like I don't want Bill O'Brien, the GM. Bill O'Brien, the coach, was fine. Bill O'Brien, the GM, was terrible.
No, I know what you're saying, but I knowing who Bill Belichick is and just the way he runs the way he runs a program, man, that's just what's going to be. He's going to want complete control of that football roster and everything. He's going to want all the control. There's no way he just goes somewhere and says, I will be just the coach and we'll go from there. Like, would I love that for, anybody really? Yeah, that would be great. If he were to, let's say, even the Philadelphia idea, the theory there that he comes in, Howie Roseman ain't getting fired.
No, man. Howie Roseman has actually done a very good job building the roster.
Yeah, minus the linebackers. He's fucked up there. But
I promise you that'll probably get addressed this year.
You think?
Yeah.
If it don't, well, then Howie Roseman can get fired. But
it'll get addressed.
I think it has to get addressed. It has to get addressed, really. Neither here nor there. That's, I could sit here and talk about my football team all night.
I know you could.
But Bill Belichick, all right, we know who he is and what it's about. And with the teams that have coaching vacancies, or even the potential to have a coaching vacancy, where do you think he lands?
The Chargers are the only ones that are semi-ready to win right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only ones. I think the Raiders are almost there.
No, that's a Pierce move. That's a and we'll,
I agree.
We'll talk about that right after this, though. Yeah,
I still think the Raiders are a quarterback away. O'Connell played okay.
Okay, but the Raiders have a decent draft pick.
They have the ability.
I liked O'Connell,
but I don't
know if he's going to be like a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback that leads them to, the glory that you would want. But I think they got a head coach that will.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to Belichick.
But I think the Raiders are they're a few players away. I think.
Yeah.
I think Atlanta's in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nashville's in the same boat. Actually, everybody with coaching vacancies has issues.
You said Nashville.
Tennessee. It's the same thing. You know what I mean.
They are the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah,
it isn't Nashville. They're getting a new stadium, too. So.
I know.
Yeah.
I was surprised that they let Vrabel go. He's been pretty good for them, man.
And that's who I think will be in New England.
I kind of think that, too.
I feel like that's a
move.
definite move right there.
Carolina's out. There's no way.
No way. No. Carolina's going to have to. Carolina's so far behind the 8 ball. I would leave the same coaching staff I got. I wouldn't even try to change it up. Or I'd go out there and take the biggest risk I possibly could.
Well, what I personally think they should do, and my brother and I kind of talked, he's more of the Panthers guy than I am. Yeah. We think that David Tepper should take a step back. He needs to hire a vice president of football operations. Somebody between him and football.
Somebody between him and the GM?
Right.
Yeah.
And then let that guy hire the GM. Let them two decide who the coach is going to be.
No. Yeah, absolutely right. Tepper doesn't need to have any involvement in any football operations whatsoever. He needs to be an owner, rake in the cash. That's it.
From what I've been told, half of his problem is the reason why he's meddling so hard is that he's turned over all his normal business stuff that made him the billionaire.
Yeah.
To his son.
So now he has nothing else to work with.
At the moment,
except the football.
He is nothing but a professional football owner.
So he's a Jerry Jones now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you see what it's doing.
when you get so mad that you're throwing drinks at Jacksonville Jaguar fans.
The fact that you even wanted, I mean, we talked about it last week,
Yeah.
even wanted to go to Jacksonville to watch your shit team play.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yep.
I wouldn't go to Jacksonville. I would watch it, like I said, from my mansion.
Yeah.
And I would drink and throw drinks at my TV. It does.
I'm 100% with you. I'm 100% with you.
The fact that a billionaire that you're gonna fine him $300,000.
Ooh.
It's like he took $3 bills out of his pocket and was
Yeah.
like, "Here you go, buddy." Yeah.
It's like it's an old NASCAR story where Rusty Wallace, NASCAR fined Rusty Wallace like $10,000 in the 90s.
Yeah.
And he had a Brinks truck show up at the NASCAR office full of $10,000 in pennies.
Nice. I would do that.
And I'm like,
I would be that petty.
that's pretty good right there, buddy.
That's good pettiness right there.
Oh, that's big time petty.
Much appreciated for the story there, Rusty Wallace. I like it.
Nah, it's just funny. Like,
Did he drive the Miller genuine draft car?
yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. MGD. Mexicans get drunk. Oh, that was racist.
Come on.
That's what the MGD stands for, no? Despite saying that, I've never seen a Hispanic person drinking an MGD.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
No,
There's probably one out there somewhere.
he's doing me proud right now.
What do you mean? I got a whole refrigerator full of it. Anyway, but there's no job out there other than the Chargers, I think, that is ready to win now. I think I forgot about Seattle. Seattle's still out there.
Now, there we go. That's not a bad move because they have a really good defense that would entice somebody like Bill Belichick for sure. And then bringing in a good offensive mind like Bill O'Brien.
Possibly snagging somebody in free agency or making a trade for one of these young guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got the tools where they can put a young quarterback back there and say, hey, look, we're not going to force you to win games yet. But we have the talent everywhere else to do it.
Belichick's going to want to win immediately, though.
Oh, yeah.
And does he think he has anything in Geno Smith? Maybe. I mean, they just paid Geno Smith. So
Everybody can get out of any contract nowadays.
I know. I mean, Howie Roseman is a master of the craft.
Look what's going on in Denver right now. If they can get out of that contract.
How funny would it be if they traded to get Russell Wilson back?
No, they're not trading.
I know they're not going to. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
They'll just sign him when they release him.
Well, I mean, that's what is the dead cap money? Is it $70 million if they cut him before June 1, and it's like $58 million if it's after? It's something like that.
It's something like that, but he's going to be gone in March. That's what it sounds like.
Ooh, so they're going to take the big cap hit.
They're talking about taking the hit. They're pretty much already going to pay him like $150 million.
Yeah.
For his 2 years, and I'm like, poor Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, poor Russell. Poor Russ. Anyways, so that's a good spot. Trying to think if there's like a dark horse out there.
Not really, because everybody seems pretty content at the moment, or just hired somebody. I mean, as far as teams that were down this year, Arizona just hired a guy this year.
So, yeah, because let's see, who's got an open? I mean, of course, the Patriots now have an opening.
I mean, surprisingly, the Bears kept Eberflus.
So the Commanders have an opening.
Yep.
That might be enticing for them. There's some pieces. They have a complete rebuild of
the offensive line.
Well, I mean, they have a complete rebuild of the front office.
Yeah.
So that could be enticing if someone's like, we'll spend as much money as we need to in free agency. We'll get what we can. Do you think Brian Daboll will last after tomorrow in New York?
Man, if any coach deserves a break just from injuries his team has
I agree.
sustained,
I agree.
it would be Dayball. Dayball, man, God, dude.
I mean, it sucks. Don't get me wrong, but
How about get off that damn turf and
well, yeah, they need to do something completely different there. Because I mean, every game played there, somebody got. You saw me. Fucking players got hurt last week. I mean, the Birds were horrific. Don't get me wrong, but yeah.
well, it's not even just the Giants. Between the Giants and the Jets and everybody that plays there.
No, there's too many games that field needs to be completely redone.
Yeah.
All right, Vikings, Packers, Lions, Bears, all keeping their coaches.
Yep.
Texans, of course.
Yep.
Colts, we're going to be fine. Steichen did a pretty solid job.
He did a good job,
Yeah.
especially considering they went into it saying, hey, we're going to play a rookie quarterback. We know we may take a step back.
Yeah, they knew
But
that it was going to be
we're
difficult.
going to build towards the future.
Yeah, no, they're giving him the shot. So the Titans are open, and that's not a move. That franchise is fucked. Why do you let Vrabel go?
I don't know.
That doesn't make a lick of sense to me.
I think that was a mutual parting of ways also. Like, I think they're keeping, like, the $3 or $4 million that Vrabel was owed. Like, he was like, you just keep the money.
I'm going to go get a
out.
job elsewhere. So, what you got? The Falcons and Panthers, they're going to be open.
Yeah. What's sad, the Falcons is a better job at the moment.
It absolutely
There's
is.
way more pieces there.
I mean, look at your star running back, star wide receiver, star tight end.
Yeah.
Your offense is a quarterback away from being
Really
impressive.
good. Could you see the little bit of time when Desmond Ritter
has time?
It's
Yeah, Drake
okay.
London with a big catch, or Bijan has time. Good play calling even. It just helps. The Falcons and that defense. The Falcons' defense wasn't bad this year. They were great,
but they
but
weren't
they
bad.
were bad.
They
And
weren't.
that, you know what? I would say the Falcons are maybe one of those dark horse teams that you could see that happening. But the Kirby Smart, I think, is going to be number one overall for that one. Let's see. Raiders are open, but we'll come back to that. Chargers, definite. We've already talked about that.
Yep.
And then you have no more openings outside of Seattle.
Outside of Seattle.
So Seattle's probably, I'd say the Seattle or LA is probably your best bet if you want a win now opportunity.
Yep.
Depending, where's Atlanta picking? Atlanta's got to be picking what, top 12 probably?
Maybe.
Somewhere in there. I mean, that's got to be right in that vicinity.
They're
If
close.
you have a good idea of a quarterback that could come in and change the trajectory of that offense,
8.
yeah, they're picking 8. Oh shit, even better. Yeah, so there's potential for a quarterback there.
Or they make the move and trade up.
Right.
If there's a guy there they want.
Well, Chicago's going to trade out of 1.
It's not sounding like it.
I'll keep Justin Fields all day. There's not one of these quarterbacks that I feel is better than Justin Fields. Do you?
Especially the way they played the last half of the season. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm 100% fine with Justin Fields. We talked about Justin Fields at the beginning of the year. I said I needed to see more passing from him.
Yeah.
I mean, adding DJ Moore was a huge help.
Yeah.
That's where I'm leaning. I'm saying, man, trade out of that first. Get some more weapons. Trade out of that. Move back a little bit. Get the best offensive lineman and the best wide receiver possible you can get at wherever you trade back to. Because it sounds like no matter what, Washington's probably going to be looking at a QB, which I think personally they need to be looking at offensive linemen before they even think about
They
a
don't
QB.
need to look at QB. They have so many other holes. It's the same shit Carolina had.
Yep.
You traded up to be number 1. Stupid decision.
Yeah.
Because you could have lived with quarterback. You could have had Sam Darnold playing.
Yeah.
You could have had Sam Darnold playing, and I guarantee you would have got the exact same result that you got with Bryce Harper. Or
Right,
Bryce Young. Bryce Harper. Baseball on the mind, buddy. Can't wait.
They could have
You
kept,
see, I'm already past the Eagles right now.
dude, they could have played the Red Rifle this year.
Oh, yeah. But there's plenty of guys like that you can go out. Hell, you could have gone and got Fitzpatrick, and that would have been better than Bryce Young.
Yeah.
There's so many other guys you could have gone with and not traded anything and still had DJ Moore. And the number 1 draft pick this year.
Could have got Will Levis.
You could have had Will Levis in the 2nd round. Dude, Carolina's fucked. Will Levis played better than Bryce Young did all year.
In the little bit of time he played, he did.
Stupid. Granted, he did have DeAndre Hopkins.
The thing that got me about...
But he could have had DJ Moore. And DJ Moore and Justin Fields had a fucking great year. DJ Moore had 1,000 yards.
Dude, DJ Moore was, I think, in the top 6 in receiving yards.
Not surprising.
Somewhere in that range. I'm not 100% positive on that number, but I'm pretty damn close to thinking.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's women's.
Let's see. See what he had this year. Stats. Let's go to ESPN and look up DJ Moore. I'm just curious where he ended up in the ranking.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, just to make sure we're not staying dead air here.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're saying, but yeah,
Carolina could be in hindsight's always 2020. What if Bryce Young came out and just fucking balled out like C.J. Stroud this year?
DJ Moore was 6.
Yeah, see, but like I said, hindsight being 2020, he could have come out and looked like C.J. Stroud. Or what if they took C.J. Stroud? Then you're like, oh.
My thing is, I don't think it didn't matter who they would have taken. I think the rest of that offensive roster.
Oh no, it's awful.
I mean, I liked it initially when I was thinking, they're bringing in a rookie quarterback. They're trying to put like some veteran help around him. The Miles Sanders signing, the Adam Thielen signing.
O-line was awful.
Yeah,
but the thing is, let's take C.J. Stroud with Adam Thielen and DJ Chark and Miles Sanders. Guarantee you, he had what compared to. You think Nico Collins is Nico Collins without C.J. Stroud this year?
Oh, man, him or Tank Bell.
Right.
I agree with you.
So you give him those types of pieces, they're going to be the same. I feel like C.J. Stroud would have been more successful in Carolina, or as successful, not more, as successful in Carolina as he was in Houston.
I don't know.
Now, he got better coaching. But Frank Wright's not a bad coach either.
No, I'm not saying he is either. The way
Frank Wright was screwed because he didn't want him to begin with. He wanted Stroud to begin with. He said that was my guy, and yet David Tepper just decided I like the personality of Bryce Young. Bryce Harper in my mind.
I don't know.
I'm not all about baseball, man.
I see you.
I am sorry, Eagles, but you've lost my interest.
Frank Wright actually
I need to see
probably
Dingers.
wanted. I know he wanted C.J. Stroud, but he probably wanted Anthony Richardson before Bryce Young. To be honest,
I mean, and let's be real, Anthony Richardson before he got hurt
with balling,
he was all right. I mean, he was proving me wrong left and right.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
But if you go by my bets, then you realize I'm full of shit most of the time.
Right? We all are.
Because my bets are not hitting. So,
I'm good.
Bet against me.
I'm good 2 out of 3 games.
Yeah, right? I'll get 4 of the 5 legs of this parlay probably. Anyways.
I missed out on several more than 4 leg parlays this year by 1 game. Several.
We did. You had that 9-leg parlay and you hit 8.
I know.
That was awful. Was that the Falcons that fucked you?
Yes.
Yes, it was. Thank you, Arthur Smith, you jackass. That's why you got fired.
God. Man, I was so mad.
Yeah.
So mad.
So, that's all for the coaching carousel. Which, I mean, we're about an hour right now. That's crazy.
Buddy.
That's
we ain't
wild.
even got into the playoffs yet.
Yep. So, let's get into that.
Run the playoff conundrums.
I do. I gotta say, I'm a huge Packers fan this week. I don't know why. I'm just a big Packers fan.
Oh, we know why.
I'm a huge Packers fan this week.
I know.
I am on the Jordan Love train. Choo choo. Why would that be, Steve?
He's played well. And
that's why I'm on the train.
They're playing your least favorite team.
Just say it.
They're playing.
No, just say it. What's the saying behind them? What do we always say?
Fuck the Cowboys.
Yeah, let's go.
But I mean, I got other reason to really like this weekend's matchup, considering that the Packers have beaten the Cowboys 9 out of the last 10 times they played in Dallas, or something stupid like that.
Let's not forget the one with Des Bryant.
Oh, that was
man.
in Lambeau.
I know, I loved it. Every bit of it was awesome.
We tend to beat the Cowboys in the playoffs.
You do. You
Can't
and the
beat
Niners.
anybody else in the playoffs.
You and the Niners.
We can beat them.
You're great.
We'll see how it goes, though.
Yep. No, I'm a huge Packers fan this weekend. Dallas is undefeated at home this year.
They played fantastic.
They played very well at home.
Except the last game against the Lions. The Lions should have won that game.
The Lions were screwed. We all know that. There's no question about it. It's obvious as it can be. Somebody had money on that game that was wearing some stripes.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
I saw some stuff this week talking about the officiating and stuff. They were talking about refs against the spread and this and that. And there was like two of them. I don't remember who. Something Allen and somebody else. They were talking about these guys' personal wealth have I think it was doubled or something like that in the last 5 years. And we're talking multi-million-dollar
well, yeah.
stuff.
Well, you know how they get paid a buttload for each game they do.
Yeah, but it's
not to mention their day-to-day jobs that they have.
The officiating would be better if they would just make them full-time to fish and say, "Stop doing it. This is your job now."
Yeah, don't have anything else and become a full-time official. Then you have contracts and all this other crap, and then you can critique them.
Yeah.
Then you can do way more. I mean, they do now, but it's not to the same extent that you should be doing it.
The critiquing now is, oh, you've already refereed 16 games. You don't have to do the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You mean I can get my Sundays off again?
Right.
So, what it is. Anyway, Packers, Cowboys.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and dive right into the playoffs and everything about it. But, yeah, I'm a huge Packers fan this weekend.
As you should be, brother. As you should be.
Basically, my two favorite teams are the Eagles and whoever's playing the Cowboys. So
I like the Packers this week, too. Packers +7.
Yes, the odds are very beneficial when it comes to this because +7 in a playoff game and a team like Green Bay, a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah.
Green Bay is, depending on which Green Bay team you get, I guess. That's the downside. Which one do we get?
If we get the one that's played the last couple of weeks, they've got a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm down. I'm big on them at +7. I might go money line on them just because they're my boys.
I'm in on +7. The over-under is 50.5 on this one.
I'm going to go under.
Yeah, I think the unders here have two good defenses.
Yep.
Two good defenses. And we know this is the time of year that Prescott usually takes cock to the mouth. So this is probably what's about to happen is some more choking. I hope for it so much. I really do.
I would love to see them go out.
Yeah, go out in the first round. No, that'd be great. So go Pack, go for sure. Let's bring it back though. We'll go to Saturday. Browns at Texans. This one has got me. Cleveland's a 2-point favorite, but in Houston, you're in NRG. You got a a train that's rolling right now. But I mean, both trains are rolling. Really, they both look good.
Yeah.
They both look good. Texans are 6-3 at home. Browns not that great away. They are 3-5 on the road this year. So 5 of their 6 losses have been on the road.
I like the Browns defense though.
The Browns defense is stout. They look great, man. CJ Stroud though, he's back. He seems to be over the whole concussion stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you really look at the leaders in terms of on the offensive side, you got a guy like Stroud who's played all year. He missed 2 games. You got Devin Singletary who's been running the ball pretty well, and then a guy like Nico Collins on the outside.
Yeah, but they're gonna. If you're Cleveland, they're gonna throw Denzel Ward on him, and they're gonna make it.
Cleveland's defense is the deal. They are. I want to take.
You're like me about it. You're kind of torn.
I'm really torn. Texans at home though, and with the way the Browns play away, this is a dome game though. Give me the Browns. I think bet the Browns and give the 2 points. Yeah, give me the Browns.
I think the Texans have had a.
Flacco's got playoff experience. Flacco is what the fuck?
He's Dylan right now.
I know, right?
He is Dylan. This is
He's got that kind of Nick Foles energy where, I got nothing to lose. I wasn't supposed to be here.
He was sitting on his couch.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He's got nothing to lose. He's out there just having the best time of his life. He's like, hey man, if I lose this, oh well, I've won a Super Bowl. We good?
Yeah. I already won a Super Bowl. I already made a bunch of money. I'm doing this just because I love the game.
Yeah.
And they've got a good roster.
That's the best way to play the game. They do.
They've got a good roster.
He's not throwing to shitties.
No. They're playing.
The running back game, imagine if Nick Chubb never got hurt.
If Nick Chubb wasn't hurt,
Jeez.
This could be a really scary team.
Yeah.
A really scary team.
I agree.
This is one of those teams that could pound the rock with Nick Chubb. Not that Ford and
Hunt can't take care of the business, but Nick Chubb though is a different animal. Yeah. Damn, imagine if Nick Chubb was out this year. Damn, the Browns would be stupid. Or honestly, Flacco's playing better than Watson ever thought about playing this year.
Yeah. He's played fantastic.
Yeah. So
a couple picks, but his touchdowns have been
no, they're good.
Way better.
Yeah, so Browns 2 and given 2. Yeah. Browns is the faves.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Browns in this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Browns -2.
Yeah,
just because I think the Texans are a year away. I still think they're a year away.
Which is crazy to say because I never thought.
I didn't think
we thought they were going to be bad. We didn't think they'd be awful, but we thought they would be bad.
D'Amico Ryans, he's got to be coach of the year.
Why not?
Got to be.
Why not? Rookie quarterback, a defense that was just awful last year. He has to be coach.
Who else gets it? Harbaugh? McVay's done a really good job this year.
Yeah.
McVay's done a good job.
Harbaugh would, but Harbaugh's got so much talent on that roster. I'd say.
Dan Campbell?
No, because that was expectation. Yeah, no, really, it is D'Amico Ryans. It is D'Amico Ryans.
I like
That's my vote.
I like it.
By all means, yeah. Saturday night, Dolphins go to the Chiefs. This game is expected to be played in 1 degree weather.
Ooh.
1 degree.
I don't like it. I don't like that
Fahrenheit.
weather at all. Yeah, no.
1 degree. Hard no.
Yeah.
Hard no. Kansas City's a 4.5-point favorite. Both teams really haven't looked great recently. Both teams struggling. They both ended 11-6. Oh, that sounds familiar. Both struggling. Sounds familiar.
Well, the problem is,
I think you take a team like Miami and stick them in that atmosphere where they're not used to playing, and you got a team that has been successful in the playoffs.
I think the cold weather's gonna just.
But here it is. It turns it into a running game. Mostert's the better running back between him and Pacheco, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Not to mention your backup is a Chain or a Chan or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you need to throw the ball, you got a guy like Tyreek Hill.
I got a feeling they're going to try to They're going to try to force you to throw the ball to Waddle. Not that he's a bad receiver either.
Oh no!
Yeah. I mean, that's where the Chiefs are lacking. They don't have enough playmakers.
But they have got nobody that'll catch the damn ball outside of Kelsey.
Nobody.
And Kelsey leads the team in drops.
Well, when you're getting a majority of the looks, you should probably.
Yeah, I just think he's got some pelvic issues. What is wrong with this dog?
Why you want to...
Sit.
That was too swift, man. Too swift.
Oh, well played, sir. Well played.
I tried. I had to think about it for a second.
That was swift. Oh, damn it.
I don't blame him either, though.
Who does? Anyways, I'm gonna bank on the Chiefs' experience. I'm gonna bank on Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce taking this one this week. I'm gonna take money line though. I am not touching any spread on this. What is wrong with this dog?
Just to make things interesting, because I think you and I are going to agree on a lot of these. I'm going to take the Dolphins. Plus 4.5.
This is the beer chug.
This is the beer chug.
So you're going to take the plus 4.5. I'm taking a money line though. So okay, that's fine. That's fine. If we both win, then nothing happens, right?
Yeah, if you win and it doesn't cover, what are you doing?
Hey, dog. No, ma'am. Anyways.
It's like she just like, hey, it's time for me to be crazy.
I'm going to start chewing this fucking bone and being loud as shit.
Anyway, I like Miami just because I think they have more weapons to get things done.
Yeah.
And it's not that I am anti-Kansas City. I just think they're depleted. I mean,
oh, yeah.
I need somebody to catch the ball. I need somebody to make a play other than Kelsey. I need it. I need to see it. I don't know where Kansas City's... Well, we know where their money's going. It's Kelsey and Mahomes and Chris Jones. But I need to see somebody else. That's what I need. So that's going to be our difference maker there?
Yeah, we'll keep going.
We'll see.
But, I'm going to take Chiefs money line. You're going to take Dolphins plus 4.5. That's fine.
We'll make it even.
So if the Chiefs win by 3, then no one has to chug.
We'll go. I'll even take the money line. Screw it.
So you think the Dolphins win? Straight up.
There's more money in it that way for me.
What? I'm not adding extra beer chucks to this bet.
No, I'm just saying I'm going to put money on that side.
Okay, so you're gonna take the Dolphins to win.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All right, cool. Sunday at 1 is Steelers at Bills. Buffalo's a 10-point favorite.
I'm taking Buffalo.
Buffalo's riding high. Buffalo, the over/under is 35.5.
I'm taking Buffalo minus 10.
I'm taking Buffalo minus 10 and the over.
Me too.
Yeah, and the over.
Buffalo's going to score 35 by themselves.
Yeah, I think give me Buffalo and the over, and they'll cover. They're definitely covering. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from the Steelers because they are playing good football, but the Bills, that is the scariest team to be playing right now. That team is turning around late in the season. They play well at home, and I think they figured it out now. You don't have the turnover machine that was Josh Allen at the beginning of the year. He's turned the ball over less than 5 times in the last 6 weeks.
But he's still, here's the thing about Josh Allen. I saw this argument earlier this week, and I 100% agree with it, that this is the way the NFL is going to go. Josh Allen still, over the last 4 years, regardless of how many turnovers he had, he is still accounting for how many touchdowns.
Well,
You know?
probably the same rate as Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. It's still that way, and it'll be fine. I'll take the turnovers. You're still going to win a lot of football games with Josh Allen. You're going to win a lot.
Especially with the way he's been playing recently.
Yeah, he has the ability to get hot. And he's been hot lately.
For sure.
And Pittsburgh is Mike Tomlin's done a fantastic job with that team too. Still how many consecutive years in a row without a losing record? Backdoored himself back into the playoffs. Like and he's doing it with just average quarterback play.
17 years?
Something like that. Something stupid.
Yeah.
Something stupid. But imagine Pittsburgh with a quarterback.
Pittsburgh would be good. I mean, yeah. So
Give them anybody average.
instead of Mason Rudolph,
Him, Kenny Pickett.
any of them. Yeah, I know. So we already touched on the Packers and Cowboys.
Yeah.
Go Pack, go.
Yes, sir. The 8 o'clock game. Rams Lions.
At Lions. First Lions playoff game in a while. They have the most expensive tickets. The lowest price ticket is $372.
As it should be. Good for them.
Yes. So
Good for them.
no, I mean I get it. This is the first playoff game they've had in how long? I didn't look up the stat. It's crazy.
It's since late 90s?
Yeah.
Early 2000s?
And it's a home game. So Lions.
Oh, hey, Stafford got him in the playoffs once.
No, they've been to the playoffs.
But they hadn't had a home playoff game in forever.
Oh, I don't know about a home playoff game. Yeah, that's got to be.
Yeah, I think Stafford got him once.
Yeah, no, they've been to the playoffs, but
It's been a while.
yeah, but I mean, even the playoffs, it's been a while. But the home playoff game, yeah, it's different. Anyways, Lions 3-point favorites at home, basically meaning even on a neutral field.
I like it.
The way Stafford's been playing, give me the Rams.
Really?
Yeah,
Taking the Rams.
Rams have weapons. The Lions just don't have. They don't have anybody of any experience here. The Rams still have pieces of a Super Bowl that are lingering, especially Stafford.
The Lions have a guy that
Stafford,
got the Rams to a Super Bowl.
huh?
The Lions have a guy that got the Rams to the Super Bowl. Goff got him was a Super Bowl playing quarterback. They didn't win it. They lost. But he got them there.
Stafford won the Rams Super Bowl.
I got what you're saying, but you're saying the Lions don't have anybody with a lot of playoff experience. Goff's got playoff experience.
I just think Stafford against his old team, and I know it's Goff against his old team, because these two guys got traded. It almost seems scripted how this has ended up.
Well, the whole playoff seemed semi-scripted.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think watching the Rams play recently too, they've been fucking money.
They've been playing very well.
And the Lions have been hit or miss. And like just all this hype that are behind the Lions right now, like this could be some.
Saying there's too much hype behind it.
Yeah.
If they were on the road, I'd be less inclined to want the Lions to take.
It's a dome game though, so there's no weathering anything that's going to come into play here.
I like the Lions at home. I like them.
I mean, they're 6-2 at home. The Rams are impressive away though. They're 5-4.
It's not terrible.
No, so they're winning record at home or on the road. So, Detroit's a 3-point favorite. I think this one's going to come down to the wire though. I'm going to take the Rams in the 3 points.
I like the Lions.
Yep.
I like them.
And
as much as I don't like to pick
line.
them, I'll take 3 points too.
Yeah.
I'll give it 3.
Yeah, I think you're just riding it too much because you're a fantasy football team.
It didn't matter. I'm in a fantasy team. Finished 7th.
I know, straight trash.
Yeah, so not that. I just like them a little better.
Okay. And then we go to the Monday night game. The Eagles.
11-6 on the road for the playoff game
Fucking bullshit. They draw the Monday night game
against the team that I'm
because
pretty
if they win, they have one less day of rest. It's all bullshit. Anyways, this is a big if. Obviously, the Eagles have already been to Tampa Bay once this year. This was when they were actually winning football games though, and they won.
pretty handily, if I remember correctly.
They controlled the game. It was closer than it should have been. Tampa Bay's awful. Tampa Bay's not good. Their defense is okay. Their offense is
Okay. They did okay.
their offense is trash because if you look at it this way, they're 4-4 at home. Baker Mayfield has bruised ass ribs, and you saw it in the last game against Carolina.
Yeah.
He's not the same. He's not the same Baker he's been this year. If Baker Mayfield plays at the end of the fourth quarter in this game, Philly did not do their job, and Philly has likely lost. I'm just putting that out there. Philly's a 3-point favorite. I'm not betting any of this game. Fuck it. Because I don't know which Eagles team I'm getting, and if it's the Eagles team of recent, we're losing.
Dude, the Eagles team that played last weekend, holy smokes!
Well, I mean, they were without some offensive weapons. They got off to a very poor start. I'm not trying to make excuses, but yeah, they were not interested in that game.
What got me is I left here. We were watching the game. The game that just came on last week. We watched it a little bit. And I left here, and then I get up the road, and I'm like, what the hell just happened?
14-0 already. Yeah.
How the Giants score?
Yeah.
Like, it just shocked me. And then it didn't get any better for you guys.
It did not.
I'm just, as far as the Bucs, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I think we had them picked last or next to last in our preseason.
I think it was last. I'm pretty sure it was last because of
we thought they were going to be
Houston was we picked Houston to finish last. No. Or why did I say Houston? What's wrong with me? It was Carolina.
It was either Carolina or the Bucs. Because we talked about them potentially. What if they just say, screw it, go all in? Maybe they tank for Caleb Williams, who at the time we thought was going to be, who we had more praise on.
Hold on. Who am I? Atlanta. Yeah, because we would have said that. Yeah, I think we said Tampa would finish last because we didn't think Carolina would be that bad. Yeah, right. You're right. Yeah, no, we probably and they end up winning the fucking division.
But they win the division the way we thought. They barely finished 500. We actually thought sub 500 was going to win this. And they literally,
I mean, it's a 2-game difference.
It's not even a 2-game difference.
They were 9-8.
Well, I know, but it's just one win.
Well, one, yeah. It could be 8-9.
They could be 8-9 very easily.
Yeah. I got it. So, with the Bucs being 500 at home, the Eagles 5-4 away.
I'm not betting on your Eagles anymore.
I'm not either.
I bet on them 3 times in the last month, and
they've not helped you at all.
They have dicked me, my friend.
I don't even want to pick this game. I'm going to pick it and say the Eagles win. I'll say money line. Eagles win. It'll be a close game. It shouldn't be close. We'll still look like shit, but we'll do something slightly different that gives everybody a little bit of hope. And it's like, oh, they can compete with whoever they play next week. You know, whether it be the Packers, Cowboys, or Niners. Well, it wouldn't be the Packers. It would be the Cowboys, Niners, or Lions.
Yeah.
That's who they'll play. So
I'm just, the way they have played the last month
doesn't make sense. Like, what happened? Something happened.
It's like they were cruising.
We weren't cruising, though. We've looked bad all year. We don't win in convincing fashion. We've just been fortunate that our talent has outplayed the play calling, and that's what's happened.
You were 10-1.
I'm very aware. You do not have to
cruising.
Cruising is not cruising. We were 10-1 by the skin of our teeth.
You don't get to 10-1 by accident.
You do, though. At least it seemed that way. We got to 10-1 by accident. Look at it. Kansas City game. Lucky.
Yeah. But I mean,
their wide receivers can't shit.
Yeah, if can't
Bills game. Lucky.
Yeah.
Long ass field goal. 61 yarders. 61 yards by Jake Elliott. I mean, you're talking about games like that. We were fortunate against the fucking Commodes. Like, I mean, it is shit like that. And then, I mean, we're fortunate against the Giants because we let that one stay way too close. Like I said, the only convincing win we had all year was against Miami.
That was a good win, though.
It was a good win. But where's that team? Awful, man. I've
playing in Kansas City where it's freezing.
This is why I hate football. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're going to be out in the first round.
You could be in the AFC playing in the cold in Kansas
City. So you're taking the Dolphins. I'm taking the Chiefs, right? That's the beer bet.
Yeah,
I'm
taking the Dolphins. No.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna go against the grain.
Yeah.
I just don't trust. I don't trust anybody on Kansas City's offense.
Right.
I don't trust them.
Uh-huh.
I trust Mahomes. I trust he's going to make good
I trust
throws.
Mahomes, Kelsey, and Pacheco, but that's it.
Yeah.
Tony, Valdez-Scantling,
yeah,
Rice, none of them. Don't trust any of those. Those motherfuckers can't catch shit. Couldn't catch a cold.
If I'm Kansas City and I'm Andy Reid, I am somehow trading into the top 10.
For a wide receiver?
Yeah.
Give me Marvin Harrison.
That would be that. Actually, I'm not. From what I've seen this year, Marvin Harrison played great. But Rome, he's legit too, bro.
He is. I'm not saying he's not. No, but I mean, if you want the sure shot thing, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the guy.
I think Rome's just as good.
Yeah, you also was talking like this TCU wide receiver is going to be fine, and then look at the Chargers right now hating life.
That was terrible.
Yep.
Terrible.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is the sure bet at wide receiver this year.
I'm not saying he's not.
You want the guarantee? Marvin Harrison Jr. is the guarantee. That's it. All right, man. Well, we wrapped it up with the playoffs.
Yeah. We did.
You have any NBA news for me?
Ja Morant's out.
Yeah.
The rest of the season.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. I'm starting to get into the NBA swing. I watched a little bit of the Denver Jazz game last night before I slowly made my way to bed.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're watching the Bucks and Celtics. It just came on. They're in the first quarter. Bucks off to an early roll here.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on like the Bucks to get it together. I think they're still trying to figure it out. Not that they're playing bad, but I still think they have.
You add a piece like Dame, though, it means a lot. You gotta figure that out. You gotta get the chemistry right. It's fine. Well, they'll be fine. They're gonna be fine. I promise you that. Because there's only one reason Dame's there, and that is to put a ring on it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think the NBA stuff that's driving me the most crazy is the fact that, like, the Lakers won this in-season tournament. They're popping champagne.
Fuck about that shit. Hey, man, I told you the in-season tournament, no one's going to remember it. No one's going to give a shit about it. The Lakers hung a banner for it. Like, what the fuck y'all
They hung a banner, and then, like, 2 weeks later, they're like, oh, Darvin Ham, our coach, sucked. We don't
we're going to talk about firing him. Y'all just won the mid-season tournament or in-season tournament that y'all were so hype about. Like, the fuck off, man. Y'all are stupid.
The problem is,
it's because no one else gave two shits about the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
The thing is, they're trying to be like football in Europe, and they're not going to be. You're not going to get that because you're not bringing any other team or any other league into this.
You're not bringing multiple leagues in. You're not bringing multiple places in.
You want to do that? You want to have this in-season tournament shit? You want to? Then
bring the European basketball teams in it.
Exactly. Let's get some French league teams, some English league teams, the Spanish league teams, the German teams. Bring them all in. Now that will be interesting. Now you got my attention. I'm watching that shit.
I'd be in on something like that.
Hell yeah. Why not? That'd be awesome.
Because there's a lot of these teams. There's a lot of talent overseas.
There are. I mean, where Wimby come from?
I mean, there's a
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm just telling you, man. There's good shit over there. There's good talent, and they play more cohesive as a unit than anybody here does.
Well, that's it.
That's why the international
That's why the international games are
game.
different.
International games are different, but also like the hierarchy is not so crazy from America anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
the FIBA World Cup and stuff like that.
So
yeah.
when you talk about that gap, is not the same as it used to be.
It used to be us and Russia, or the Soviet Union.
It used to be us and nobody else is what it was. When we put the Dream Team out there in '92, that shit was over. It was damn, they got to play against our pros, our best of our best.
We got tired of losing.
Well, yeah, because we always put the best college players over there, or even the team that won the national title would be our. Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't even be the best because you'd have a lot of these guys that wouldn't play in it.
Well, yeah, no, I get it. Like Michael Jordan didn't want to ever play in it, but then it was like, we need to put on the stars and stripes and then show everybody like we don't fuck around when it comes to basketball. We invented this shit.
Well, Jordan won a gold medal in '84.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
She's just full of it, dude.
Hey, man. Hey, yo.
All right.
Smoking yourself. Get out of here.
The mascot wanted to interrupt at the end of the episode.
I know. I see this.
All right. Well, you just hold her down.
I got it.
Yeah. Well, so John Morant's out for the end of the year. NBA talks, of course, with us will.
It'll improve from this point on.
No, they're going to heighten here shortly for sure. Yeah, that'll come. Once football's over. So in February, holler at your boy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But we're going to pick up on the college basketball things as well. We'll have baseball coming up here in March with the spring training when catchers and pitchers report. Things are getting hype around here.
Yeah.
Things are going to be good.
I mean, as soon as we say football is over, it's going to turn right into free agency, right into the draft.
Well, yeah, football is great because football, you got free agency that starts in March, and then in April you got the draft. So I mean, big things are going to happen for football right after the Super Bowl. So things are good. We'll have a month off of football talk probably. Well, actually, no, you'll have some. We'll have some talks, a little bit of talks, but yeah, we'll be really into. College football or college basketball and NBA for sure. But yeah, man, that'll do it for this week.
Yes, sir.
Next week we'll be live from Raleigh.
Going to see the Canes, support our Canes.
Yeah, go watch the Carolina Hurricanes up in Raleigh.
I wouldn't say your Canes.
No, I'm a Flyers guy.
I'm going to jump on the Canes,
No,
I'm not really.
Hey, secondary team could be the Hurricanes for sure. I am a North Carolina native. It doesn't mean I will ever pull for Carolina or Duke, but I will pull for the Hurricanes in hockey, especially with the Flyers. And actually, Flyers aren't awful this year, so we're looking okay.
Hey, man, I tried to get those.
I know we tried to make that happen. It just didn't work out for us. Yep. But until next week, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and follow. On the YouTube, we're Jabbo the Pod. On Twitter, we're Jabbo the Pod. On Facebook, we're Jabbo the Pod. Instagram, Jabbo the Pod. So, also, of course, if you're watching right now, we are on Twitch, and that's where you can catch us live every week when we go live. And then on YouTube, you can rewatch us right here at Jabbo the Pod.
Yes, sir.
So, website is jabbothepod.com. All of it is Jabbo the Pod, Jabo the Pod. Until next week, Steve, when we are drinking beers and getting ready or pre-gaming for a Hurricanes and Red Wings game.
Yes, sir.
I'm super stoked to see.
I am too, man. I had a blast last time.
Man, I did too. We saw the Blue Jackets.
Yeah,
was it Columbus?
We
Yeah.
saw a 5-0 spanking. It was fantastic.
So maybe we're good luck for the Canes.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we will test that theory on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Till next week.
Till next week, my man.
All right.
All right. Deuces.
I can't believe